The drinks in the US are made by American workers in American factories, largely all with American inputs, and the same with
Coca-Cola CEO says it may ramp up use of plastic bottles and raise prices due to President Trump's.
He was a fantastic man, but he understood immediately what I was talking about.
Coca-Cola is a name that resonates in nearly every corner of the globe. Its red and white logo etched into collective memory of generations. For years, this beverage titan has stood not just as a commercial product, but as a symbol of American culture itself. Yet, in a surprising and unprecedented move, Coca-Cola has announced plans to relocate its operations outside the United States. The company attributes this decision to the economic challenges posed by the tariffs and trade restrictions implemented under President Donald Trump's administration. The policies, which have sparked what many describe as a global trade war, have rendered current business conditions unsustainable for the company. This announcement carries weight far beyond the realm of corporate strategy. It is not only a business story, but a profound cultural and economic moment. One of America's most iconic brands, born in Atlanta in the late 19th century, now contemplates departure from its homeland, a homeland it once represented across war fronts and peace times alike. The cost of remaining, the company says, has become too high, not just financially, but strategically. Aluminum, an essential material for Coca-Cola's packaging, has been hit hard by recent tariffs. Imports from key partners, particularly Canada, now face additional duties of up to 25%. For a company producing billions of cans each year, this is a staggering financial burden. And aluminum is only one piece of the puzzle. The sweeteners and flavorings that define Coca-Cola's signature taste are also sourced globally, from Latin America to Asia, regions that have likewise been affected by rising tariffs and trade complications. Efforts to adapt have proven futile. Coca-Cola explored sourcing materials from within the U.S. and sought alternative international suppliers. But global markets are not easily bent. Supply chains are strained, costs continue to rise, and profit margins grow thinner by the day. As CEO James Quincy lamented, "We cannot bear these costs indefinitely. Even if we raise prices excessively, we will lose our consumers." The Trump administration defends these tariffs as necessary for revitalizing American industry, arguing that domestic manufacturers struggle to compete under the weight of cheap imports. Some sectors, such as steel and aluminum, may have reaped short-term gains. But for a multinational company with a deeply globalized supply chain, such policies have created barriers that hinder growth and competitiveness. There's also a clash of ideologies. The White House contends that American companies should exhibit loyalty to their country. But Coca-Cola maintains that it has outgrown national borders. It is no longer merely an American enterprise, but a global one. And in that global reality, the company must act in the interest of long-term sustainability and shareholder value. President Trump's assertion that companies seeking tax havens abroad will face heavy sanctions only intensifies the debate. Coca-Cola's potential exit is not just a business decision. It's a symbolic rupture. A brand that once lifted the spirits of American soldiers in World War II and became an emblem of liberty during the Cold War is now looking elsewhere for opportunity. The same brand that built its image on American holidays, family values, and patriotic themes now finds itself in conflict with the very nation that birthed it. American citizens are reacting emotionally with a sense of betrayal. "Aren't you our symbol anymore?" they ask. Abroad, observers are equally astonished. If even Coca-Cola finds the U.S. an unviable home, what does that signal about America's place in the modern economic order? This moment is being closely watched by other major corporations, from Ford to Apple. If Coca-Cola, a cornerstone of American enterprise, can make such a move, who will stay? Multinational companies are under similar pressures, and the risk of capital flight, along with a drain of innovation and employment, grows ever more real. To be sure, the United States remains a powerful market with robust infrastructure and financial resources. But the mere consideration of Coca-Cola's departure signals a deeper unease. Reports suggest that the company is evaluating countries like Germany, the Netherlands, Switzerland, Ireland, and Singapore, nations with stable governance, favorable tax laws, and solid trade agreements. Each location offers unique advantages. European countries may enforce stricter environmental regulations, prompting Coca-Cola to adopt more sustainable practices, potentially at a higher cost. But this could also enhance its reputation as an environmentally responsible brand. A move to Asia might bring with it innovations tailored to local tastes, plant-based drinks, reduced sugar, or traditional flavors, all aligning with shifting consumer trends. Meanwhile, American consumers could face higher prices and fewer product choices. Import duties and increased logistics costs will inevitably trickle down to retail prices. For factory workers across the U.S., the consequences could be even graver. Thousands of blue-collar jobs are on the line. Although some state governments and unions may offer tax incentives to retain the company, if the economic climate fails to improve, these efforts may not be enough. Rival brands, both domestic and international, are ready to capitalize. Pepsi might emphasize its commitment to stay in America, while smaller, patriotic soda companies could gain ground by appealing to national pride. The implications of this move extend beyond economics. They touch diplomacy, identity, and policy. A host nation could leverage Coca-Cola's relocation for prestige, proclaiming, "We are now home to one of the world's greatest brands." The United States, meanwhile, faces questions about whether its current protectionist stance is driving away the very enterprises that once defined its success. In the end, Coca-Cola's decision encapsulates the paradox of globalization. It highlights the delicate balance between national interests and global business realities. The brand that once epitomized the American dream now finds itself drifting away from it, not in defiance, but in pursuit of survival. Will this be a turning point in American economic history, or merely a symbolic departure that leaves the essence of Coca-Cola and the American spirit it represents intact? That remains to be seen. What is certain is that the story of Coca-Cola is no longer just about a drink. It is about borders, belief, and the balance between loyalty and liberty in an interconnected world.